How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beared Down Uncut, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. The Bears finished off their training camp that was covered by the media today with a scrimmage at Soldier Field. Today we're going to be breaking down all the stories from that and much more for you guys in episode number 71 of Uncut. Welcome back to the show, guys. I would like to say we are so close to 2,000 subscribers. You guys have been killing the support on the recent videos. If you are new to the channel and want Bears content all season, do us a favor, click that red button to subscribe. I think we're about 75 subs away, and it would mean a ton to us if you would like to join our team and support our videos. Also, you can click the bell for notifications whenever we post. And if you are returning to the channel, do us a favor and like this video. I think the last episode of Uncut's over 100 likes. The video about Foles a couple days ago. So definitely much appreciated. Thank you guys so much for the support, and keep it up. I am your host, Chris Malpe, and today I am joined on the last day of mediated training camp with my co-host, Jaylen McClinton. Jaylen, it was pretty nice to see the guys back out on Soldier Field today. How you doing, and how did it feel to see them back out there?
I'm doing good. Just watching, the players run out into Soldier Field with their uniforms on just brought me some excitement. I can't wait for week one, even though it's going to be in Detroit, of course, but just football. That means football's coming back closer and closer. Love seeing all the new players and the rookies in the uniforms and stuff like that. So got me very happy and excited.
Absolutely. There's not much to cover from today, but we do have a little bit of another update on the quarterback competition. Some stuff with kickers, a couple rookies that are showing out. So let's just hop right into it. The first thing that's most important today is to talk about the quarterback competition. It's where we have to start. Our guest from last week, an episode that you guys loved and you should go check out, is the Zach Pearson episode. And he predicted that Foles was going to take over this week. And he had a report about the quarterbacks today. He said, watching these two quarterbacks today, I thought that it was Nick Foles that had the better day. Today, it was pretty clear, at least in my eyes. However, Nagy says that he won't publicly name a starter before week one. So, Jaylen, I want to ask you two questions. First off, are you surprised that Foles has taken this jump this week? Because obviously Pearson actually came on the show and predicted that last week. And secondly, do you think it's a good idea that the Bears are waiting on naming a starter to try and make the Detroit Lions game plan for both players in case it doesn't get out who's going to start?
I guess I'm not surprised that Nick Foles is starting to play better. This is his first time, playing with these receivers and these tight ends and getting his feet wet. Especially he was coming off an injury last year. So I'm not surprised, and I'm actually happy that Nagy's waiting to, name a starter.
Even though it's going to get out, yeah.
Yeah, make Detroit prepare for both quarterbacks, whether it's Mitch or Nick coming week one. So I definitely like that idea. Put some suspense on the opposing team and make them prepare for both.
Yeah, I got to go ahead and agree with you. I think it's just smart game planning there by Nagy. I mean, obviously, whatever someone within the NFL sphere hears it, it's going to get on Twitter, and we're all going to find out probably the week of the game. But that being said, give the Lions as much time as they want to not know what's going to happen in the future and game plan for both, because they're definitely wasting time with one of those guys. So, heading on to the next story, just a couple small things. Robert Quinn was back with a full workload today. The next important thing that we should discuss is Kyle Fuller, because he had 2 interceptions today of Mitchell Trubisky. Trubisky was playing with the 2s again today. It says something to me that, and we can talk about this later. It says something to me that he's playing with the 2s when Foles played with the 1s on Wednesday before no practice on Thursday. It's a little telling to me personally, at least. But that being said, obviously Trubisky playing against the 1s. Kyle Fuller did pick him off twice today in practice. First one was more of a breakdown on the play, and the second one was tipped by Roy Robertson Harris on the defensive line. Funny enough, yesterday, J.J. Stankovic said that he thinks it's real good that Ray Rob tips a ton of passes on the line. So I want to ask you, Jaylen, what do you think about Fuller? I mean, you think he's one of the most underrated cornerbacks in the league?
Yeah, for some reason, a lot of outsiders or media saying that Kyle Fuller's not a top 10 cornerback. I don't know how honestly you could think that. They say he gets burnt a lot, but he's off. He plays mainly coverage. He plays deep, so that's bound to happen sometimes. But Kyle Fuller's a ball hawk. He gets a lot of interceptions. He had 7 interceptions in 2018. That kind of came down last year because quarterbacks weren't targeting him. I'm not surprised that he's still getting a ton of interceptions and deflections and stuff like that, because he's shown that that's what he does, and hopefully he does it against other quarterbacks and not our quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle Fuller's a real underrated player. He earned a paycheck back a couple of years ago, and I'm glad he's here. You can say whatever you want about him, that he had to cover a ton of ones last year and wasn't doing good. But that being said, it's tough being a Bears cornerback. He hasn't had much help, and I'm hoping Jalen Johnson or Kevin Tolliver can step in and give him a better hand, because Prince Mukamara was not the greatest last year, but I expect it'll be another big year for Fuller. Among the standouts at training camp today, another one that we mentioned recently in these podcasts is rookie Darnell Mooney. He finds ways to get open a lot. Zach Pearson says he had himself a good day out there. J.J. Stankovic yesterday, he said that he's able to run the entire route tree and is able to just do a lot. So, Jaylen, I want to ask you, what do you expect Mooney to get done in his rookie year? We've seen what Bears have done in the past with rookie wide receivers and not played them a ton, but Mooney's situation seems a little bit different. It seems like he's thriving in training camp. So what do you expect him to be able to get done in his rookie season?
I expect Mooney. I've always been a big fan of Mooney ever since we drafted him. I don't know if you can hear my dog in the back, but if you can, excuse me. But like I said, I've always been a fan of Darnell Mooney ever since we drafted him in the 5th round. I kind of got too hyped and said he was going to be, our number 3 receiver, because we really didn't have one. And we signed Ted Ginn, and I still feel like Darnell Mooney can be that, whether it's him really Wims or getting into a lot of competition at that number 3 wide receiver position. And I'm glad and not surprised at all that he's showing out that speed. That speed is going to help us down the road, definitely.
I mean, it's crazy thinking about it, but he reminds me exactly of Johnny Knox, and I think he could be the next Johnny Knox for the Bears, considering they were both 5th-round picks and both kind of surprising when they enter the league. Just looking at Mooney's college career, I mean, we should expect production out of him in Chicago, and I think we're going to get it at a pretty high level once he does arrive here and is finally able to play. He caught 48 passes in each of his last 2 years and almost 1,800 yards total. He also scored 19 touchdowns in his college career. It's a little bit of a surprise to me that he's showing out as much as he is. I think we'd all love to see Javon Wims and Riley Ridley get some more reps, but if Mooney's good to go, I absolutely say go with it. Finally, one more thing that we've got here before we close it off. Cairo Santos. Obviously, the Bears brought him in a couple of days ago because Matt Nagy because Eddie Pinheiro was dealing with a groin injury. I'm sorry about that. But it was a very good day for Santos. He made every attempt today. Eddie Pinheiro was still sidelined with a groin injury, and it seems like the chances are increasing that Santos may need to be the man week 1 in Detroit. The media hasn't seen Eddie kick in quite some time. So, Jaylen, I want to ask you one more question before we sign off here at episode 71 of Uncut. Are you okay with going into Detroit with Cairo Santos as kicker? We obviously saw how his first stint here ended, but are you fine with it, having another kicker on the roster just for insurance?
We kind of talked about this earlier, and of course I'd have no choice but to I'm not confident because we had Cairo Santos before and he got hurt before we ended up releasing him. But if he's making his kicks at Soldier Field right now and going into a dome in Detroit, I can only be as confident as he allows me to be. Hopefully Eddie can come back, be Eddie and making his kicks at the distances that he was, missing from. I guess hopefully he can come in here and make the kicks like we know he can.
Yeah, I'm fine with Santos playing a week, as long as whoever is kicking is consistently doing it, and it's hard to say that when it comes to Bears kickers, but as long as they're consistent enough, I'm cool with who's starting, and you also got to give Eddie the full time to be able to heal up. I thought that was going to be the last thing we were discussing, but one final thing. We did see some footage of Cordell Patterson scoring a rushing touchdown. It's going to be very important that he gets as involved as possible at the running game with David Montgomery going down. So how do you feel about, throughout this training camp, how do you feel about Cordell switching to running back, and do you think he'll be able to find success at that position?
We've seen him do it before, and with New England, and Bill Belichick was able to use his versatility at running back, and it obviously helped for them. So, seeing Nagy and the Bears do that for us, especially right now when we don't know when we're going to get David Montgomery back, it might be after Week 1. So, if it is after Week 1, then we're probably going to see a lot of touches or a lot of a lot of plays where Cordell Patterson is the running back in the backfield alongside Tariq Cohen. So, seeing him score a touchdown in Soldier Field against the defense, I'm very happy and confident that, he can do that against Detroit.
Yeah, I like the move. Going in this offseason, Matt Nagy said they needed to use him more dynamically. There was a lot of people that said, hey, put him at tight end, put him at wide receiver, but he ends up at running back, a spot where the Bears are very thin right now. I think he'll be able to find success heading into the season. Thank you guys so much for tuning into episode 71 of Uncut. I just want to let you guys know that these training camp videos might start slowing down now because we aren't going to know as much. So we may combine a day or two into a video just because there's no media there anymore. But I would like to say if you want more content from us, head over to our website, bearddown.com. We're officially 15 days away from the season. We're pumping out as much content on there as possible. We're also going to continue to work on getting some guests on that have been at the 2 weeks of practice to be able to give their insights. We've got a very special one coming soon. I'm not going to name who it is, but if you want to see who that is earlier than most people here on YouTube, you can head over to our social media pages, Beared Down on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find sneak peeks and stuff like that on there. You can also find the link to me and Jaylen's fan pages on Instagram down in the description. Those are some great follows as well. Jaylen McClinton, training camp with media is over. We go into the dark for the week before we find out who starts at some key positions for the Bears, most notably the quarterback. Any last words?
A little over 2 weeks until we head into Detroit and get a W. I cannot wait. Like you said, as training camp is starting to slow down due to media won't be there. Hopefully the quarterbacks do better and we find out who the starter is sooner than later. Like Nagy said, he won't announce it till around Week 1, but hopefully we know before that so we can pump out some content for you guys. But other than that, bear down.
Absolutely. Bears fans, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have shown so much support recently. We really appreciate it. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Maltby. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to keep up the content for you guys. We're real dedicated, and we're going to keep doing it for you guys and get as much out as we possibly can. We're real excited for this season. It keeps creeping on to us. 2 more weeks. Let's get it. Bears fans, do us a favor. Stay safe, and as always, bear down. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.